Let's take a look at the schedule. And, things that pop out to me, first of all, we have a reunion of two former conference opponents, which is always very exciting. Going to the Rose Bowl with UCLA and then going to Wyoming, which, by the way, has a beautiful stadium. Love Wyoming's stadium. But what are your overall thoughts on this schedule and the bounce back potential, y'all?
I'm glad we have Texas Tech at home.
I'm excited.
Because, from what I hear, they've got some hype around them. But so does Baylor. We were just talking about that actually before we came on here, that Baylor has a lot of hype going into this season. And unfortunately, we have to go to Waco, which we did 2 years ago. Luckily, let's see, when is that? In November. So maybe it won't be 500 degrees. Maybe. I don't know. Does it stay at 500 degrees?
It stops being 500 degrees in like mid-October. You're good after
perfect.
October, yeah.
Okay.
But hey, you don't have to go to Arizona State. You don't have to go to Tech. You don't have to go to Kansas State. I mean, it couldn't be us, right? Freaking our schedule.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot to like about this.
Right. I don't love the ending on a Friday. That'll now be the second time where Utah has to end our season on a Friday at an away game. Last year we had to end at UCF, which, travel all the way to Florida on a Friday right after Thanksgiving. So I don't love that. Nothing against Kansas. It's just like, I don't like that scheduling, how they are doing that. I personally still think that rivalry weekend should be that last weekend. I think it is insane to not have Utah playing BYU that last weekend. It's absolutely insane to me. I do not understand it. I mean, I know their reasoning is that they don't want to compete nationally with national rivalries, but shouldn't we be? I mean, if we're meant to be taken seriously as the Big 12 conference, shouldn't you be putting your marquee games on that marquee weekend? I think it's absolutely insane to have us playing in the middle of October.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. Every time I see Baylor, in like early October, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, come on, it should be end of the year. Like, it should be Baylor or Tech at the end of the year for us, right? Like, come on. We're not even playing Tech this year. Like, I think, okay, what do y'all think, by the way, before we keep talking about Utah's schedule? Why don't we have pods, right? We could so easily have 4-team pods, right, where you have the same, like, 3 regional rivals locked in every year, right? And then you alternate which teams from other pods you're playing. That seems like such an easy solution to me.
When we were in the Pac-12, they had, the North and South. It was really nice though when they got rid of those, and I think that the pods would kind of be very similar to the North and South. And just the main reason why is there were several years where the 2 best teams came out of this, would have been out of the North or out of the South, and so instead of that, it was the best team from the North playing the best team from the South, who maybe would have been 3rd or 4th place in the North. And so it just didn't work. So when they got rid of that, I think that it really kind of worked out, and it truly became the 2 best teams. Last year, Iowa State, Arizona State, 2 best teams, right? They were team 1, team 2, so they got to play in the championship. If somehow they're in the same pod or, something weird, then they don't get that opportunity. So I like that it's just 1 through 16 and the 2 best teams, win the tiebreakers, win your games you're supposed to win, and you're going to be in it. I personally like that. I think that there should be, however, certain teams that you play every year, especially your rival, right? Utah should be playing BYU every year, and I think that they will. I mean, that rivalry, I don't know how much, other Big 12 schools know. It's a heated rivalry. I mean, we're 40 minutes apart. The number of coaches either that are on Utah or BYU that either played at the opposite school or coached the opposite school. I mean, the offensive coordinator, the head coach of BYU was our defensive coordinator. Our head coach played at BYU. Their offensive coordinator was our offensive coordinator, right? Like, there's so much crossover. The rivalry is deep and the hatred is real. We have to play that game every single year. And I'm with you, Bryn. It's criminal. It's criminal that it's on a random Saturday, October 18th. Who cares? Like, it gets lost in the shuffle, and it almost is like BYU and Utah played today. But if you put it at the end of the year, even if it's on a Friday, let's say it's on a Friday at 7:00, and it's the primetime game on Fox, that it gets a lot of play. And so I think that part kind of, it does bug me. And that was the same last year. Utah played across the country at UCF on the day after Thanksgiving. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. Well, let me clarify. The pods would be exclusively for scheduling purposes, not for standings purposes.
Okay.
So, like, for example, if you had like a Texas pod, right? Like TCU, Baylor, Tech, and Houston would be guaranteed to play each other every year.
Right?
And then you rotate, like, I mean, it doesn't really work out perfectly because Utah, BYU, Colorado, and then you got 2 Arizona schools. So you'd have to figure out who's getting left. I guess you'd probably move Colorado. It'd probably be like Utah, BYU, Arizona State, and then put Colorado in a pod with like the Kansas schools and Iowa
State.
Yeah. But anyway, it's like you're guaranteed to play those regional rivals every year, and then you mix up the rest of it. This feels like we're just like throwing darts at a board. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Like, hey, Utah and BYU will play every year. TCU, Baylor will play. And that's pretty much in Arizona State. Like, we're not securing Farmageddon. We're not securing, friggin' the Sunflower Showdown, any of these other great games, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So if you had to make a call based on the schedule, I mean, what are you thinking wins-wise? What's the expectation? I feel like we still have some objectivity here because it's late June, right? We're not fully into the August, like, me and Bryn were talking about this before the show. Hey, you talked to me on August 31st. TCU's winning every game, right? I've lost all objectivity. But we're in late June, we can still think about this clearly. What are you kind of expecting for a win total out of the schedule?
It's so hard, man. I'm with you, right? Like, yeah, my fandom obviously is going to take over. It's funny. People get mad at us for not being objective. And it's like, dude, we're the Utah football fans podcast.
It's literally in the title of the show.
Literally in the title. I'm going to say that we go undefeated every single freaking year. Even, it's just we're the greatest team ever because that's my fandom. And you think the same of your team. Now, objectively, the Texas Tech game gives me pause. Fortunately, we get that at home. They spent so much money. I'm so curious how that's going to work out. BYU, Utah, that rivalry, it's on the road. BYU overperformed, I think, by a significant margin last year. So I'm really interested to see what they do, how well they do. Their defense will be good. The offense has a lot of questions. If I were right now to put kind of a number, I think 8 wins. Like, I would take, if that's the number 7.5, I would take the over. 8-9 wins. I would be very surprised at 7. Again, all of this is pending on health, quarterback, all that situation. But I think that 8-9 wins is very, very realistic. I mean, hell, dude, even that UCLA game to start the season, who knows? This Nico kid that transferred in from Tennessee, he wasn't there for spring ball at all. But he's an incredible talent. So who knows what that's going to look like. So I don't know. I would probably put my expectation right now at about 8 to 9 wins. It's kind of where I'm hovering.
Yeah. And it's wild that I feel like 13 Big 12 teams can win 8 games. Like, the math isn't mathing, but I'm like, everyone's good this year. This is a deep conference. What are you thinking, Bryn?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like James said, my homer, my fandom wants to come in and say, oh, we're going to be 10-2, 11-1. My realism and my experience from the last couple seasons is telling me I'm going to shoot for 9. I want to put that positive optimism out there and say, I think 9 is doable. But I agree with you. The Big 12, it's a massive question mark this year to me. I don't feel like you have the Ohio States or like the other teams in some of the other conferences. I was going to say like Texas, but I didn't want to piss off a lot of the Big 12 fans. But in the SEC,
hey, that just speaks to how trash the SEC is, frankly. Honestly,
yeah, exactly.
For being real,
you don't
so
have that
overrated.
like
It's insane.
That one team that everyone's kind of looking at. In the Big 12, it really is. It's wide open. And so, which is fun. I like that because it makes it interesting. It makes you actually want to sit and watch all of the games. Sometimes when it's Alabama playing some team and they're winning 54-0, I immediately turn it off. But when it's a close game, I'm going to be paying attention. So I think that's what's going to make the Big 12 really fun this year, is because nobody knows. We don't know.
Yeah, you are so right. Well, if you had to make a call right now, I'm asking everybody, if you had to make a call right now, who's playing in Arlington at the end of the season?
Man.
Hmm.
I know y'all aren't going to pick BYU. I know you're not going to say that.
No. No. Oh, man.
No.
Oh, dude, it's hard because I'm so intrigued by, like I said, I think Baylor's super interesting. I think Arizona State is super interesting. I mean, they won the conference last year, but, you know, Scadaboo's gone and he was a massive part. I don't know, dude. All right, we're going to say Utah, Iowa State.
Yeah, a lot of people sleeping on Iowa State. Iowa State's got a lot coming back.
You got a lot coming back. I think they're going to be better. I think they were good last year, even though we should have beat them. They were good last year. And so that's, I don't know, throwing out Utah, Iowa State. Don't clip that though, please.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I gotta look into more. I'm not gonna pick Texas Tech, even though they've got all this hype. I think they're gonna spend a lot of money and it's not gonna go anywhere. That's just how I'm feeling.
Hey,
I'm
Bryn, there's a reason in Texas we call them sand Aggies. All right. Spend all this money and win 8 games. Good for y'all. All right.
Gotcha. And I think there's another team who shall not be named, who's 40 minutes away from us, who is doing the same thing, spending quite a bit of money. And I don't know that it's going to all come together. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Utah and Baylor, and Utah's going to avenge Cam Rising, and it'll be amazing.
I would love that for y'all. Listen, I'm never rooting for Baylor in any game, so I would love that for y'all. I've been saying all of these shows, okay? TCU's got an impossible schedule this year, but I think we're going to be better. I've been calling a TCU Baylor Big 12 championship because the hatred in that building will feed families. It will be a beautiful thing.
That would be insane, dude.
It would be so great.
Epic.
That'd be